First, I want to thank you for coming. It's actually our first event at the office. It's my first day at the office. So the first time coming here, we've had the office for 2 weeks. So really, we're bringing it in right now, and there's no better way to do it.
So, like, big problem that everyone's coming into, because like API calls aren't free anymore, right? Because like every time you do an API call to OpenAI, it's like 0.003 cents or whatever, right? And so what people have been doing right now is like, hey, either I'm gonna like make a wait list or something and like only allow a couple of people in, so you only charge me like 200, 300 bucks a day or something like that. But like there was an example a couple weeks ago where someone accidentally opened up their GPT calls to like everybody, and they spent like 25,000 bucks in a single day. And like if I'm tracking correctly, 5 cents.
You should get like 5,
There you go. It's a check mark.
Right.
And so if any of you guys want to use this for your own replits, so this is a way where you can have somebody else run a run a lightning node.
Can you
right?
cast to your cycles page here or
minutes, not days or weeks. I would kind of handle all the ML infra side of stuff, so you just worry about building your app or website. We actually shipped a Replit where you can, it's kind of like a one-click out-of-the-box AI avatars app that if you want to find, you can just go to the front page of Replit, and it's trending right now, and it'll actually generate professional headshots for you. So this is, get this out of the way.
Thank you for having me here. I have a tiny bit of imposter syndrome because I'm not actually an engineer. You're all building all of these super smart things. But I've actually been using Replit and AI to like build products as well. So thank you for inviting me, despite that. So going to be a recruiting product coming up as well that LinkedIn cannot clone. And we'll kind of see a next generation of that so that recruiters such as I stop blowing up all of your inboxes. I'm sure that would be nice. So
we have people recruiting on Bounties now.
We generate job competency generators or job competencies. So let's say you're going to hire for a software engineer, and basically all you need is the input of the job title and what will this person accomplish in the next 18 months. For the purpose of this demo, we'll keep it short, just like take the product from 0 to 1 on the founding engineering team. And then it will pretty much just make an API call to OpenAI and hopefully return a bunch of job competencies. So
that has access to 2 data sets. The first one is a map of the location, like what aisles do you have, what things are in which aisle, and it can be as detailed as you want. And then the other data set is just inventory. What products do we have, how much are they, and a description of them. For the inventory, you can either upload a CSV or in the demo we'll use the Target API. So we just do a search on Target and retrieve that and retrieve the information. Couple that with another agent. So there's one agent that calls Target in Langchain and another agent that figures out the location of the items. And it's just a chatbot that responds with that. So let's try
this in case. Fun hacking over the last few hours. How many people here have tried out or at least have heard of Midjourney?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Midjourney is fantastic. Really, really impressive images that it generates. But sometimes images can only take you so far. Okay, what if you want to generate other things? What if you want to generate videos, for example? So I wanted to build something like Midjourney, but for videos. And so let me, share what I built. So first of all, obviously 4 hours is not long enough to train a video generation model. But luckily for us, I started running. It's looking for these calls, it gets the prompt, then it passes it through, and then I have a little video. So you can see kind of here.
Stop.
What are they trained on?
It's still very much.
I love the Shutterstock watermark too.
You can kind of see what it's trained on probably.
As and by the way, I'm a product manager, so I definitely don't have imposter syndrome. But what this started with was a workshop I did at South by Southwest last year. It was titled, How Does the Roomba Really Feel About Dog Shit? But in Medium, they censored me for some reason. But it's about this idea of like animistic design of devices in the home and how they may interact with each other. And so we ended up doing a whole workshop where people would create, like, do something called empathy mapping for the machine. We would then turn that into these worksheets for different types of devices. So like, they would name them, they would give them characteristics, they do all these different things. And then we would role play in kind of a fake version of a home. And they would be about the devices and about a household. So I included like, Otto is the robot vacuum, or Gucci is the smart light bulb device. These are all names that were given by the workshop people. As well as like where the living room and everything is, and then who the people are, basically. And so when we end up running this, what you can do is you can start to ask kind of questions about what's going on, but then you can also give actions, and then those things will actually take place. Now, there's only one Langchain here, but we were talking a little bit earlier about how we might actually stack multiple of these so that they can start to talk to each other in some way. And so like, who is... So no one's home, so Chris is front. So it then starts to talk about like the security system recognizes and unlocks the door, lights in the hallway turn on, welcome home Chris.
Basically, you can take any file that's inside your Replit and natively upload it to the decentralized cloud, which is pretty awesome. And so we can see the code here. This is kind of what the file looks like. So we just open up the Python. Basically what we're doing is we're feeding it some credentials, and we're creating an extension template for Replit so that we can then natively upload any file. So if we're doing video transcoding for creating images, if we have stable diffusion output or text to video output, we can then upload that inference output to the decentralized cloud so that it's globally available. So then just like you wouldn't put all of your money with one bank, you wouldn't want to use US West. Files get encrypted, then they get erasure coded, and they get spread across the world. And so what I'll first kind of quickly do is show what that looks like. So we can see these kind of single threads that are just communication with different data centers. As you can see this from our network visualization tool here. What I'll do is I'll grab a file and I'll upload it, and so, or I'll download it. So when we download it from the distributed cloud, from storage, we can see all the different parallel port connections that get opened up. So all these nodes are just nodes across the network that are streaming this data in parallel. And so the way that it works is the first 20 of any 80 pieces of each segment rebuild the file. So they're all broken into little pieces, they're all spread, and we can see just how active this is across Europe and across different segments. So I'll pause there.
Languages, honestly really big something else to convert one language together. So what I really wanted was just some way to take our TypeScript repo and turn it into like a Python repo, Go repo, just like save ourselves a lot of time. So the problem that we...
And so I really enjoy like social deduction games like Mafia or Secret Hitler, if you guys have played any of those, where everyone has a secret role, but nobody knows who is what role. And so I want to do something with that, like that with AI, where everyone's playing and there's one AI and no one knows who the AI is. And everyone's trying to figure out who the AI is. And so the idea, the way that this works is there are 4 people playing, and there's also an AI. And everyone's playing little word games, and people are trying to figure out which of the people who are submitting the answer is just an AI bot. So the way this works is I built a little radio app. So the idea is everyone gets into a room. So let's say we call the room name Replit. This is player. Oh, the room is full.
Just wait it out.
So the idea is. And the idea is after everyone submits, everyone tries to guess who the AI is. And if people guess you as the AI, you get a point, and if you guess who the AI is,
I wanted to be Tony Stark when I grew up, and we have the technology. So I've been hacking on that for a little while and have run into a lot of problems along the way, mainly around context and trying to make the model pay attention to the things I want it to pay attention to. And so I started working on a new way of conceptualizing the system where instead of interfacing with one model and expecting it to do everything you want, break up the functions into smaller pieces. And so that's what I have here. Basically, I waited for a long time. But anyway, like the iOS simulator is not working right now, so I gotta go back and fix that. But this is all meant to be driven, it's all WebSocket based and meant to be driven vocally with the phone. But yeah, so we start.
Can you zoom in?
Yeah. So I named it Eva. I don't know why. So we can ask Eva to just like, cool, can you write me a poem about so she's gonna write a poem.